You're about to watch a clip from the Videomaker podcast. If you want to see the whole episode, click the link in the description.
So you're going back and forth between Minecraft and 7 Days to Die, and a lot of, that's a pretty big, they have similarities, but genre-wise, the theme is much different. Do you feel like your performances are affected by that kind of thing? Like, depending on what game you're playing, how does your character change?
They don't. It's just, I think when we've been working together for so long, that our personalities, I guess the character personalities, which are just very heightened versions of us as real people, interact the same way. We argue the same way, and we do things wrong the same way. And we each have our strengths. We each have our strengths in certain areas. I've sort of ducked out of the Minecraft world. I'm not a big fan of playing it, and that's the nice thing, is that if you don't have fun playing something, you don't have to play it. No one's forcing you. And we also want to be very authentic and not fake it, because our audience can tell.
Yeah, and it's hard to be enthusiastic.
He doesn't like this.
Yeah.
So you didn't play on the one yesterday, or you did, or you're gonna be ducking out, or?
I think yesterday's was the first one that I wasn't in, and I might make some appearances here and there, but for the most part, I came from the shooter genre. Shooters and RPGs. That was my genre, and we don't really do RPGs on the channel. And when we first started the channel, Battlefield, that's what made us who we are today. And I still play shooters in my spare time. But when there's games where there's a bit more action and they don't look as cartoony, I'm in on those.
And Ark's been a very a good category for you guys, since they come out with so much so often. You'll hopefully have continued success with that, right?
Yeah. They just came out with Ark Genesis, which is a new map. Actually, several new weird. It's almost like different dimensions. It'll be different, but we have to finish the current map that we're on, which we're going to take our time on that. There's no hurry, because again, we can create the narrative.
You guys aren't really trying to beat a game. You're trying to make content with the game, right? I mean, I imagine you get to a stopping point like Conan, like you get to the end of the game, right? Yeah,
Conan was really fun, and I would love to go back into that world, but it seemed like it was a good time to end that and to actually beat the game, or at least one person to beat the game. With Ark, we know that that's our highest performing game or series, but we still just want to get in there and have fun. It's a sandbox, and you can just play all day. You don't really have to, get all the artifacts and beat whatever you have to beat. You can go in there and do whatever you want. I mean, I opened up a resort in there.
Do you feel like it's harder?
Space is still available for sale if you're,
really?
If you're interested.
Do you feel like it's easier or harder to make a narrative from those more open-ended games versus the ones that are very much more directed?
Oh, it's much easier. I mean, the ones that are much more directed, they end up being they're like playthroughs. It's like a let's play. So we're not able to really get into spectator. God of War was a good example, where it's an amazing game that had such a fantastic story, score. Everything was perfect about that game. And we just played it. And it was me playing, or one of the other guys playing, and a couple of us were watching and just making comments. And they do fine, but it's not the content we like to sink our teeth into, because we can't control a lot of it. Once we can control things, camera, story, then we're like kids in a candy store.
The happy mix of that is like Subnautica, right? You guys had a really awesome storyline that made it make sense that there's more than one person on an abandoned planet and everything. But the playthrough there was really, I mean, I think I've watched quite a few different creators play through Subnautica, and I've watched you guys multiple times, just because it's like, it's not just the game. We're enjoying you guys' back and forth. I guess that's really all the shows. It's you guys bickering. Yeah,
basically. But yeah, Subnautica was unique in that it was a single player game, but we were able to make it seem like there was somebody else in there, being, someone from HQ.
You guys got to start Sub-Zero. They got expansion. You guys can continue that story.
I guess that one's a little bit different. I don't know. There's a reason why we haven't done it.
It's still in beta. I know that much.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's an end yet, maybe. Yeah. And I think that's what we're waiting on.
I wanted to ask, how do you select your next game? Are you just gonna go with what's popular, or is there a certain criteria that a game has to meet?
We don't go with what's popular. Okay. We'd be playing Fortnite if we did that, and we all don't like Fortnite.
You are playing Minecraft again, though. Come on.
Oh, God. They like it. They like it. I just can't. I can't. But, yeah, we just keep an eye out for open world games where you can build, you can manipulate the world, or just have fun. Yeah. I think that's what it boils down to. If we can get in there, and once again, going back to making a narrative and also having fun, then you're going to get something good out of us, or we think we're going to get something good. It's not always the case, but
so there are obvious qualities that are required when you're choosing the game, right? Like those that you just mentioned of you have to enjoy it and you have to be able to make content out of it. But from an audience perspective, does the game really matter much, or are you finding that people tune in really just to because of you guys, as people, how you interact with each other, your personalities, and really they'll watch whatever game you play, or are people like, I really only want to watch the Minecraft stuff? Or
yeah, I think it's a combination of both. But there are certain people that will not watch Minecraft, but they'll watch Ark or 7 Days, and I think, the majority of it is us. But I think you do have part of your audience that doesn't want to see you play a certain game, or they're just tired of, what you do in Ark, or maybe they want to see, something new. But for the most part, people come for us. And sometimes I even say, because you'll have content creators that are they play a game for 30 minutes and that's what they upload. They don't do anything with it, and they'll get 10 times more views than we will. But we put a ton of work into it, and I almost equate it into decorating a birthday cake for a dog. Sometimes we put so much work. It's like we almost overwork it, but at the end of the day, you have a really, really good product, even though a dog's going to eat it.
That's